Really, our focus is getting, getting people to write poetry. Our poets to write poetry, kind of having a space where we can share ourselves. Really, whenever you're sharing poetry, it's part of yourself you're sharing, with each other, and getting us, getting all of us to a point where we can grow and share ourselves with, well, the world and whoever's willing to listen. So we have a lot of performances on campus, just trying to get, our name out there and also our stories out there. The way poetry helps me is that it's always something I can turn to talk about things I normally wouldn't. Because you always have, those people you talk to about certain issues, and you don't always have, that person's not always available. You don't always have someone you can talk to about certain things, and that's when I turn to poetry. That's when, if I can't explain something to someone else, I can always explain it to the page, and the page always understands. So that's what poetry is for me. It's me putting out whatever thoughts, whatever feelings that I have that I can't really explain to someone else, and almost explaining it to myself. So, poetry is kind of me trying to understand myself. I guess from an emotional standpoint, sometimes you're going through tough times. Sometimes you're having family issues, or social issues that are just frustrating, and to be able to write about that, just to put those thoughts down, that's helpful. You kind of understand, okay, this is why it frustrates me. This is really what's going on within me, and it kind of helps you look at yourself differently, and you can work to fix those things. And even if you can't fix them immediately, you've at least kind of relieved that a little bit, and you can move on. And going back to understanding, I guess oneself, you can always look back at your old poems and say, this is where I was at that time. And I think, as Bob Marley says, in this great future, we can't forget our past. And that's meaningful on a smaller scale too, to know where you came from as a person and how you got to where you are, because it always helps you understand where you are at that time a little bit better. I'll read something that I'm working on. It's not complete yet, but I'm working on it. I write love poems. I probably shouldn't, but I write love poems. I haven't had a girlfriend yet, just a friend who, if she was on Facebook, our status would be, it's complicated. But it's really not, because I like her and she likes me, at least as far as I can tell. I've not puckered my lips to kiss hers, and though we do hug, it's never enough, because I always wish I could hold her tighter, bring us closer till she sinks into my chest, so I could understand what she really feels for me, and she could see that my words and actions never do quite enough to express the bubbling, boiling, tingling, butterfly wings flapping sort of feeling I get right around here when we're together. I'm a sap, and I write love poems to express that. I write love poems to people I probably shouldn't, like women I see passing on the street but will never get a chance to know. Like every one of my high school crushes that crushed me till my heart broke, like my friends' moms. I write love poems to women I don't even like, because the world's love supply is limited but refillable. I write love poems and start them in ways I probably shouldn't, like baby. Most anything I write that starts with baby is a mistake. And I'm more honest in these love poems than I probably should be, though I'm rarely as honest as I probably could be. I write love poems because I have a friend. And every time she smiles or laughs, I see a joy that I thought only children feel. Children and mothers of newborns and fathers of champions. I write love poems to prove to myself that I know what love is. I'm disappointed most of the time, but I still try. I write love poems so when I meet the right woman, I can show her how I've practiced on pages how to love her, how I understand that we're like paper and ink. She would sink into me and stay there forever.